I am very happy to share my experience with you. I am from Brazil, but I have half of me in Ecuador. I was born in the Amazon region and raised here with a dream to use music to touch people's lives using language of the forest. Therefore, I have been to Jasoni few twice, and recently I just came back from there last week. And I would like to share some experience with you. So, because I know I have few short time, and I think that would be quite important for me to share this with you. Basically, growing up in the Amazon region, but in a city, may never never connects in a such way with the reality of the what's happening in the Amazon. After living in Brazil, going to study music in the United States, England, most of the time in London and Switzerland, I had the opportunity to understand and perhaps also see with a different eye. So I came back every year in order to be with people, learn from people, discover talents, discover life. And I think my music became much more richer with this. And I decided to study some kind of bird songs, and I create something called Bird Conference of the Birds, and translating this also in dance, also in literature, also theater, and I discovered lots of mythologies, and I got to the point of being very close to understanding these climate change issues and global warming, all the problems with environmental aspects we know nowadays. And I believe, just I would like to add something new, because I think every authority here spoke with such a message that I have. I would just like to put a cultural side on this space. Basically, the climate change also impacts in human lives and all the nature, but also which means that impacts there is something called, I could say, cultural change, and that cultural change is very in a way when it's something which overcomes or perhaps threats people's lives, that's dangerous. I have the feeling that through music, and one of the solutions we can find is actually the music education, also the experience of having people talking about environment. Perhaps the indigenous people don't know what's really happening over there, or maybe they feel that something's wrong, but also they accepting some of them are losing their culture, or maybe being replaced by other cultures. I therefore thoughts of studying the voices, the life, and I would like to share some photos with you at the moment. They have a different class at the moment, which the ancient people, the old people, have the knowledge of the forest. The new people, young people, have different sort of aspects of our society. And my idea was to connect both of that language, and perhaps with very much careful, I've been trying to understand and also playing music for them. Maybe Stephanie, if you have the moment to share some photos, please. This is just to illustrate what I was last week. Jasuni Forest or National Park was named by UNESCO as a biosphere reserve in 1989. And that means that it's the most wonderful place. Ecuador is such a diverse country, such a wonderful paisages and rich. And Jasuni, of course, is most of it is actually in Ecuador. And Jasuni has this area of the most with the most largest biodiversity by square meter. So in any case, just so you can see what I'm trying to do with other people, my musicians, who want to share knowledge and learn. And then the result is that they also can try to understand our culture, but also they try to reproduce their culture in a different way. And just to illustrate, maybe if you have, Stefania, just go ahead, please, to the next pages. And so through the first thing I did was to understand what they do, how they sing, and how this is actually, I have to say, I forgot to say, this is the Guaranis community. They are just in the side of the heart of Japanese. The Guaranis, they were, let's say, connected to people to the West about 1960, a bit less than that, but I mean, just 60 years ago. And the realities changed quite a lot. I've been testimony or witness that they are also suffering from all this, what's happening with climate change, the floods, the animals who are being also displaced or disappearing, and all the interest from companies which they are exchanging the products, and perhaps they are killing, or even I could say change such in a cruel way that culture could be damaged. My idea was to just be, as I understand a bit the way of life, I try to express into sounds. So whenever we can see what you did here, perhaps just for a few seconds, please, Stefania, the voice of the ladies and the indigenous ladies, I try to transform what they sing, what I hear from the nature, and what I see the future. For example, if I want to express that that the nature won't have water, so I try to reproduce the sound, water sounds, people's the bird calls, and also the trees, the way they shake when the wind. Please, Stefania. Okay, so if you just put me back, I'm gonna play a song which represents the sound of the nature, also the lament of nature, and the voice which asks for support and help. I leave this message for you that every time I come back to the Amazon, I see it's different, and makes me feel that this will just change my life such a way that I feel very almost sad, to almost irritated to be part of it, but I don't see people in here making a difference. So I will make a song to represent a bit of my imagination, which could represent the sound of nature. I will mix with something very Occidental, which could be also of a shock. I will change abruptly to represent a transition and also what's happening in the world. So maybe if you have the microphones off, so I can play.
Do I think you're busy or something? Speccello.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Speccello.
Sorry? Yes, the cello.
Speccello.